What do you hate most about the world today? Everything is subscription now. And I understand why, good, reliable monthly income for a company, but it feels like everything is turning subscription. Movie services make sense, maybe music, but Photoshop? Virtual machines? This is very old school of me, but I want to buy something once and then own it. I don't want to pay a monthly price for everything. Not the worst, people have already said it. I hate how normalized wanting/needing to be famous on social media purely for validation, and not for your content, has become. I don't mean this as a dig, but if you are making content and want to become famous, you should probably have a marketable skill, comedy, acting, singing, anything else, prior to that instead of trying to make one up after you've got a following. I was just talking to my brother the other day about the early days of YouTube, and how nobody was doing it to get rich back then. People just put out their art, man, and sure, a lot of it was pointless, lol, Badger Song, Keyboard Cat, those unicorns on Candy Mountain, Chocolate Rain, etc., but at least you didn't see how goddamn desperate people were to be famous and rich. Honesty in admitting wrongdoing is a liability, wherein the risk outweighs the reward. Car accidents are the worst. The at-fault party will try to do everything to pretend they weren't at fault. Insurance cards even tell you to never admit fault. I got T-boned by somebody who blew a stop sign, and I couldn't believe how much she was trying to blame me when I had no stop and she blew through hers. Cops quickly saw she was using every excuse in the book, and luckily, I had a couple witnesses who backed my truthful story. Lack of empathy everywhere. Dating, platonic social interactions, workplace, online in general, people be treating each other like expendables. I don't know why. Or if the world was always this way, and I am only noticing as an adult. How much being a shit person is actually celebrated and encouraged. I don't understand this one myself. My coworker is one of those girls that prides herself on being a B. She proudly states how many people she's ran out of our workplace, and it blows my mind. 33 and proud of being a mean girl, oof. The worst part is how many people encourage her for being like that. Everyone is out for themselves, and somehow lying/dishonesty is bad for everyone else but okay for them. It never ceases to amaze me how self-centered people are, and it's very disturbing. I agree 100%. People only seem to care about their own comfort and convenience. So much so, that they will literally go out of their way to make life inconvenient and uncomfortable for others to get their CNC. Even if it's for the smallest of things. Respect for other people seems to be a thing of the past more and more every day. My grandfather raised 8 kids, supported his wife, and paid a mortgage on a 40 to 50 hour a week manager's salary at Sears. They had a 2 weeks interstate vacation every year. It wasn't anything lavish, usually they went by station wagon to West Virginia, where my grandparents were from, or they went to Venice, Florida, or something. But it was still 2 weeks of vacation for 10 people. They never took government assistance. That is so far from fantasy these days it's not even fathomable. If somebody put that in a movie, most people would be unable to suspend their disbelief. In fact, it's absurd to even expect I could support just myself with a comparable job today. Politics and money run everything. And every good person who tries to get involved to make change doesn't make it far, because the folks at the top are corrupt and run everything. Basically everything. Such immense powers of innovation and problem solving, and we're letting greedy, shitty people run everything. The world seems tailor-made to protect stupid a-holes from their consequences and inconvenience, or even hurt decent people. Propaganda. It's not really new, but it's something that I really hate, and don't hear people talk about it very often. Worst of all is the fact that people don't really know how to define propaganda. A friend of mine told me once that he thought that propaganda were only the flyers one is given in the streets for elections or coffee shops, until he went to Germany and saw the old building of the propaganda ministry and went, oh. People exploit social issues and mental health awareness on social media and pretend to care by making posts about them, saying they care and are there for those people, but they only make those posts to make themselves look good publicly. The fact is, most of them do absolutely nothing to help in their personal lives, and they often ignore and turn their backs on the very people they publicly claim to care about and have empathy for. Actions speak louder than words. The only way to not be terribly depressed all the time is to not pay attention to what's going on. That's pretty effed up. Adjusting to adult life was a real sucker punch. I don't know about the whole world, but this is for sure in the US. The combination of social media and reality TV seems to be leading people to believe they are like the main character in life, and that they have an audience. Like life is now a reality TV show, and they are stars online. How expensive it's getting to survive. True. Like sometimes when I work overtime I would be like, I work so hard but to what end? I do have goals which I am saving for, but seriously the basic needs alone makes it hard to save up. How people think their opinions are like facts, and if people don't feel the same way they're the enemy. Social media has made people's opinions so much more important than they should be. But this is just my opinion, lol. Anti-intellectualism has been a constant thread winding its way through our political and cultural life, nurtured by the false notion that democracy means that my ignorance is just as good as your knowledge. Isaac Asimov. How stupid people are. Everyone thinks they're FING experts on everything, and no one listens to real subject matter experts anymore. No one wants to challenge their opinions or what they know. Oh yeah? If thing A is real, then how come grossly misinformed starting presumption applied with horrible logic? Checkmate other people. How everything revolves around companies/businesses, etc. Our whole lives rely on working, and everything we see and do involves a business. I would like to see more leisure and family focus in the world. This, plus the constant pressure to start a business yourself to have a shot at financial freedom. It really sucks that for most people, the situation of going to work, getting home and being done, and eventually retiring, is unavailable or just gone. It may still be possible in some difficult to get into jobs, but for most people all you hear is start a business, so you can be financially free and retire early. It's illegal to pee and poop outside, but it's impossible to find public bathrooms in many modern cities. What are people supposed to do? So many people will harm/kill others just for a measly amount of money. Even worse, a lot just do it for the fun of it. The money wouldn't even matter to them. Every software company I get hired at, they are scamming their customers and nobody at the company cares. I used to change jobs, but now I just have to find one that scams the least because they all do in my industry. Welp. I am currently sitting in an airport where people are carrying on loud conversations. Folks are talking loudly on their cell phones where I can hear both sides of the conversation. Folks playing brain-dead cartoon music videos for their kids with no headphones. So, too much noise. How people think it's okay to film you and invade your privacy. I got into a pretty bad car accident in a busy intersection a few years ago, and some assholes decided to film me while laughing. I was bleeding from my face and obviously in shock from the incident. The accident was so bad that I had to go to therapy, and I stopped driving for years after. When I'm having a depressive episode, I can't help but think about how cruel some people are. The rampant stupidity. People aren't just misinformed or uninformed, they blatantly refuse to actually seek out information or accept facts. People are seemingly proud of their stupidity, and it just disgusts me. How the human race may have already triggered the inevitable destruction of the planet's ecosphere, that we are unable to work together to try to reverse the damage, and that a significant portion of the world population refuses to acknowledge that there is a problem. I hate that a small group of investors, executives, and professionals are rewarded extremely well for cutting costs by creating dead-end jobs, reducing wages to poverty levels, and selling mediocre products with shiny packaging and advertising. Because of this process, everything is extremely boring and low quality. All stores, restaurants look the same. You rarely see anything unique.
Thanks for watching.